Logitech let a certificate expire in January, and thousands of Mac users woke up to mice that had forgotten every button they'd ever mapped. By spring, somebody had started writing the replacement anyway. It's called OpenLogi. It's a native app written in Rust, and it talks to your mouse directly over HID++, the same protocol Logitech's own software uses. There's no account and no telemetry anywhere in it, so nothing about your setup leaves the machine. The developer goes by April NEA, and the first build went up on GitHub in late May under a dual MIT and Apache license. 4 days ago, it hit the front page of Hacker News and sat there most of the day. The repo is at roughly 14,000 stars now, more than double what it was in the middle of July. Enjoying this so far? Subscribe to the YouTube channel and grab the free daily newsletter at indiehacker.news. New deep dive every weekday. The project site lays it out plainly. Right at the top it just says your Logitech mouse, finally local, and underneath there's a diagram of an MX Master with every button labeled and the raw feature codes printed next to them, which tells you immediately who this was built for. Scroll down and you get the binding model laid out as a live pane, your mouse on one side, and the file that stores it all rewriting itself on the other as you change things. Then it makes the pitch directly, everything Options Plus does without the account, and the panel grid below it spells out exactly which parts it means. Further down it covers the transports, which is every way a Logitech device talks to a computer, from the bolt receiver down to plain wired, next to a live device view with battery percentage for everything paired. The privacy section is where it stops hand waving. Device renders come off a public CDN with no identity attached, and update checks stay off until you turn them on yourself. Then it's install instructions for the 3 platforms and a short FAQ. Plenty of software already talk to a Logitech mouse without the official app. Solar has been doing exactly that for well over a decade, and it's the reference implementation this project credits by name in its own README. Over on the Mac side, there's Better Mouse and Mos, both closed source, both stuck on one operating system, and a lot of people had quietly settled for one of them years ago. What nobody had built was a single tool covering all 3 desktops, partly because Logitech never shipped a Linux version of Options Plus to begin with. That's the gap this walked into. A few of these are stranger than they look. 1,624 points is a big day on Hacker News by any standard, and it dragged 430 comments behind it. 44 actions is the full catalog you can bind to a single button, which is more than most desks will ever need. 57 contributors inside 3 months is a lot for anything working this close to the hardware. And 49 releases since May works out to 1 every other day. Down at the level of an actual mouse, the core of it is button remapping, and you do it by clicking a hotspot on a picture of your own mouse and picking what that button should do, out of a catalog of built-in actions plus whatever custom shortcuts you write yourself. The gesture handling is the part people notice first, because on Options Plus gestures are welded to one specific button, and here you can hand the gesture role to any button physically capable of it, or switch gestures off completely. There's an Actions ring, which is an 8-slot radial menu that opens around your cursor and can carry a different layout per application. DPI gets presets and a cycle action, so you can step through them from the mouse itself. And Smart Shift, the thing that flips your wheel between ratcheted and free spinning, gets a sensitivity control and a permanent ratchet panel of its own. Want to be featured? Pitch your open source repo at indiehacker.news/apply and get in front of thousands of builders. It doesn't stop at mice. Keyboards get the same treatment, so the F-row remaps into that action catalog too, and on Mac and Windows you can also bind typed text or a whole multi-step workflow to a single key. Static RGB works on the boards that expose it. Then there's webcam support, which arrived recently and covers any Logitech UVC camera, so anything from the Brio down to the aging C920. The clever part is that it writes image controls straight to the camera hardware rather than to some software layer, so when you fix your exposure or your white balance, Zoom and OBS inherit it immediately, because those apps are just reading whatever the camera is already doing. The live preview only holds the camera while you're actually watching it, and the moment you leave, the indicator light goes out. Litra lights get brightness and color temperature, and they can follow camera activity, so the light comes up when the camera opens. Architecturally, it's split in two, and that split is most of the reason it stays light. A background agent owns every bit of device input and output, and a separate interface talks to it over local calls, which means you can close the window entirely and your bindings keep working. That interface is built on GPUI, the GPU accelerated framework behind the said editor, which is an unusual pick for a settings app and a big part of why it isn't sitting there eating half a gigabyte of memory. Your configuration is one plain text file that you own, so you can keep it in Git or sync it between machines however you already sync things. And there's a real command line tool alongside all of it, so binding a button or reading a battery level is scriptable. Installing it is boring, which is the correct amount of interesting for something that drives a mouse. On a Mac, it's one homebrew cask, and Windows gets assigned installer. Linux is where the packaging actually gets serious, with a deb and an RPM that both drop in the udev rules you need so you aren't reaching for sudo every time you plug something in, and a NixOS module if that's your world. The only thing you genuinely have to do is quit Logi Options plus first, because the two of them fight over the receiver and just one can hold it. Version 0.7.7 landed this morning, and the release note opens on an admission you don't often see, which is that 0.7.5 and 0.7.6 were both tagged and then never published because the Mac packaging fell over before a single file uploaded. So this one release carries everything all three of them were supposed to. The camera side picked up anti-flicker and low light compensation. There's a new Ukrainian translation in it too. The device layer learned another Lightspeed receiver, the one that comes with the Pro X Superlight 2. And 4 people made their first ever contribution here, which tells you what a front page day does to a young project. The README opens by saying this isn't stable yet and warning you about the format your settings live in, which may still move under you. That caveat is doing real work. One person's M720 simply wasn't detected, which got it called alpha quality on the spot, and somebody else watched their changes do nothing until they restarted and everything landed at once. Running through all of that is a long argument about how much of it was written with an AI, and that's a fair question to ask about anything you hand your input devices to. What isn't in dispute is the direction. If you've got a drawer of Logitech gear and you've spent years resenting the software that came with it, this is the first replacement that treats every platform as the actual product instead of a port. Worth watching. Not yet worth uninstalling your backup.